think having the line in the sand approach, having worked with people, admitted where we got it wrong collectively and had a look together for solutions, has turned around what could have been an incredibly destructive process into something which became a great learning point for us. It has impacted our performance so widely. People galvanised around the issue and literally rolled their sleeves up and were down in the department working together, because whilst we were trying to deal with the fallout from this situation and get the data we needed to sensibly plan that forward, we also recognised we'd got this dreadful problem that our figures weren't where we thought we were. We were actually missing the 4-hour target. So that whole other big piece of work was going alongside it, which was a whole system and a whole health community approach to that, which worked tremendously well. And I think we shaped partnerships and a mutual trust and respect as a result of taking that approach, that simply to have blamed, we never would have got the benefits from it.
Nottingham University Hospitals is an aspirant foundation trust. We want to become authorised in April 2011. In order to be authorised, we've had to sharpen up our board practices quite considerably. And I can say that this episode over the 4-hour wait knocked our confidence considerably. We had to decide whether to carry on with the application to be a foundation trust or whether to step back. We decided corporately as a board that it would be inappropriate for us, in the particular circumstances we found ourselves in, to proceed with an application to Foundation Trust. We wanted to take time out to learn from this, to sharpen our governance practices, to make sure the board was fit for purpose. In order to do so, we made sure that the committees were restructured, that we have a finance and investment committee now, we have a quality, risk and safety committee. We still have the audit committee, of course, and the remuneration committee, but we made them much sharper. Would we have done it without the 4-hour wait? I don't think we would. I think we would have carried on believing that the data quality was right. I think we would have carried on believing that the board structures were right. This was a very sad but useful shock to the system, which enabled the board to become much, much better.
I think the main lessons in the emergency department was listening to the staff is absolutely crucial. I think if we'd had earlier conversations, particularly with maybe some of the more junior staff down there, this issue might actually have come to light. I think we know we need to pay as much attention in the future to where we apparently are meeting targets as well as where we aren't, to give us that learning and that check that actually the patients who are meeting targets are just as rigorously examined as the ones who aren't. But I think most of all for me was around staff engagement, and getting the staff engaged in the change will deliver you a far, far different culture, environment and change project than trying to impose changes on a department like ED.
The government clearly has taken a revised view with regards to the emergency department standard, and this year has reframed that to be delivery of services for 95% of patients within 4 hours of attendance within the department. I think if there was an assumption that the hard-won lessons that we are pleased to share with colleagues was exclusively located in the emergency department, that would be missing the point. The real point about the difficulties that we've experienced apply to all areas of performance. The lessons in terms of staff needing to be properly trained, new staff to be inducted in the agreed ways in which performance is measured, the importance of measuring and assessing the quality of evidence apply irrespective of what it is that they're measuring.
This episode, I think, exposed some strengths and weaknesses in the board. First of all, I think the strength of the board was its openness, its values, if you like. It lived the values of the organisation: transparency, openness, honesty, integrity. So we were able to deal with it in an open, transparent way.
The strengths that the episode confirmed for me is the quality of individuals we have at board level. What it confirmed is a combination of robust tough, respectful challenge of non-executive to executive and vice versa, of a maturity of managerial experience that's so important in these circumstances, in the absence of which it is all too easy to cave into the easy default line of just blame, name and shame.
I wonder whether this episode has made my job easier or whether it's made the job of the board easier. I think it's certainly been very challenging, and in a way it's brought the board together in a way that no other issue would have brought the board together.
The messages that we would respectfully offer to other board members from what has been a very tough time in Nottingham include always challenge the validity, the accuracy of data and information that's presented by way of performance measurement. Make sure that whistleblowing policies are understood, well communicated, and where they are activated are given the urgency, the care and attention that they require. Also, to be open and accountable, internally and externally, in a manner that when one looks back in a year or two after the episode, one can look back and say, yes, we did our very best in difficult circumstances to be held to account of the delivery of public services in a way that does a credit to the institution.
I think that we felt slightly uncomfortable about, or very uncomfortable about this particular occurrence. And if we were feeling very uncomfortable, I would hazard a guess that many other NHS organisations around the country are feeling equally uncomfortable. In a way, I hope they are, because they need to feel uncomfortable enough to challenge. They need to feel uncomfortable enough to question what is being presented. At no sense should an NHS organisation feel comfortable. If it starts feeling comfortable, I think they're in big trouble.